Zonkers. Isn't that a weird name for a thin strip of rabbit hide with the hair still attached? Anyway, we've been tying zonkers for billions and trillions of years. This is a little variation that we like to do. And yes, I know, we already filmed it, so I know that I filled up the eye just a little bit, and it drives me nuts too, but she'll fish.
That's a big brown throw!
We're going to do a zonker. This is pretty dang classic zonker style. We're going to add a little bit of frills and bells and whistles to it, but this is a cool zonker that will fish great for you. This style fly has done well for us out at Strawberry Reservoir, where you see us fish all the time, where we have a whole bunch of chubs. But if you have shad, chubs, baby bluegill, whatever you have, you can mix these colors pretty easily. So I'm going to take my thread to the back of the hook, and I've taken a zonker strip. And these are the fully mill zonker strips. They're all just perfect quality. But anyway, you can see I've cut it to a little bit of a point here, and I'm going to tie it in so that it goes past the hook about that far. So I'm going to make a little part in the rabbit like this, moisten one side, just like when you're parting your hair in the morning, like I do all the time. I don't think I've combed my hair for like 5 years, Brig. Anyway, so we're just going to put some very tight wraps here. You're going to have to fight the rabbit just a little bit, but you're going to want to get that out of there. And then I'm going to take my thread up here to about at this point. I actually a little bit further forward. I'm going to put some eyes on this, so I just want to make sure I leave a little bit of room for that. All right, so this is this pearl core braid from Hairline. It's really cool stuff. And to make kind of more of an oblong body, I'm going to tie this in so it runs on the bottom of the hook shank. And there's actually a cool technique for that. So if I put that in kind of at an angle, or pinch wrap it, don't put that part in. I'm going to just rotate the freaking vise like a rotary owner that I am. Okay. All right, so to tie this in, I'll flip my vise upside down, get that tied in with a simple, quick and easy pinch wrap, and then I'm going to start winding this back by holding this here. If it gets too far on this side of the hook where I'm holding it, just flip it over to the other side for a few turns, and then just go back and forth all you need until it hits. If I keep it on my side, my thread wraps kind of push it back over underneath the hook shank. Now that's not super critical to get perfect, but I mean, if we're going to have a little bit of bulk, let's go this way on the other side of the zonker strip. Simple move here. We're just going to wrap this forward. It makes a really cool body. As you can see, there's a lot of nice flash and shine to this stuff. Get about up to here, and we'll just tie that off and trim it off of there. Okay, we're going to pull the zonker strip over now, and we're just going to create another part. And I'm going to leave a little bit more leather and tie that down with a little bit more leather in play, because I want that to be a cushion for the eyes that I'm going to put on. Now, sometimes with zonker strips, when you tie it in, it wants to roll on the side nearest you. The thread will kind of push it around. So when you wrap the zonker strip, sometimes you have to pull straight down on it. You can see it kind of wanted to roll, but not too much. That's if you're super nitpicky about your flies, which some people are. All right, so I'm going to pull this up. If you have really fine scissors, you can just sneak them right in here, right behind the hook eye, and right in front of that thread wrap, and just trim that off. You're just trimming nothing but leather at that point. And we'll we'll cover that up. Nice tie-in point. And we're going to tie in a beard now. So we're just going to take a little chunk of red zonker. We keep the theme rabbit. You could put floral floss on here. You could put any red, anything, but we just got a little tiny sliver of beard. We're going to throw it on like that. Tie it in with just a few thread wraps, and trim the rest of that off. Again, really sharp micro fine scissors, make it easier. All right, so we're pretty much done with our fly. I'm going to build up a little bit of a bulky head because I just want something to stick my eyes onto. Right there's fine. And yes, you have permission to fish it just like this. All right. Before I get too far into it, I'm going to hold everything out of the way. We have a few little flyers, some rabbit, and I'm just going to run my lighter through there because we will put some resin on this as well. I'm going to take some gel super glue and just put a little tab. Oh, we got some more hangers here. Haters trying to get in the way. There we go. That one's gone. Just put a little tiny dollop of gel super glue on one side. And I'm using pretty big eyes for this. I just want them to be kind of big and out there. I want them to show up. So once that one's on, that rabbit, there we go. Now we're playing fair. Pushing a little bit of the rabbit up into the glue so it'll kind of cover that whole side of the hook. Not necessary, but it kind of looks cool. And I'm just using the eye of the hook as a guide, that the front of that eye is just touching that eye of the hook. All right, so here we have it. Looks pretty good at this point. I'm gonna just moisten the rabbit, get it out of the way pretty well because now we're gonna build some resin. All right, I've moistened that down. You can see kind of how cool that slims down in the water. But anyway, I'm gonna take some medium resin and I'm gonna fill the void on top of the eyes and cure it. This just adds a lot of durability to it. This eye's not gonna wanna chip off because it's hollow underneath. So we'll fill the bottom gap. And then we're going to take some thin resin and just go around the whole eye and create kind of a bulb. You don't want to push it too much into the rabbit because the rabbit will kind of grab into it and it gets all unruly a bit. All right, so there we are with it. I'm just going to rotate that and just hit it with the light as I'm rotating. But as you can see, that's a pretty simple little Zonker Minnow. Super simple. I probably got too much of a bulb. I don't have much hook gap, or I don't have the whole eye of the hook, but I can still get something through there. Just be careful about that. Anyway, there you go. That's a kind of a souped up zonker, super easy to tie. You can tie them in a billion different colors, maybe just a couple million. But anyway, there you have it, a Zonker Minnow.